Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Warriors can still make successful trades. After the Golden State Warriors started the season with 12 wins in their first 15 games, they lost 8 of their last 10 games. Over the weekend, they made a move by trading for Dennis Schroeder, a veteran point guard who should add some speed and scoring ability to the bench, but it won't be enough to get them back to their usual spot at or near the top of the league. There have been rumors for months that the Warriors are hoping to trade for a bona fide star, and they might try to make a move for the New Orleans Pelicans' Zion Williamson. The Pelicans star, severely affected by injuries in his young career, is said to be available in trades ahead of the February 6 trade deadline. In light of those reports, ESPN's Bobby Marks floated the idea of a Warriors trade involving Williamson. Warriors would receive Zion Williamson. Pelicans would receive Andrew Wiggins, Brandon Podziemski, Kevin Looney. Marks explained why it's a low-risk move for the Warriors since they would only be parting with one core piece in Podziemski and 2 expiring contracts in Wiggins and Looney. For Golden State, if you don't have to give up too much, and you're looking for that potential all-star on a low risk, Marks said. Now, Zion is interesting here just because he is injured right now, and we don't know when he is coming back. For him to be on the court, that's how you can get the most value for him, either in a trade or with the Pelicans. I've always circled Golden State, who would be certainly that team there for Zion. Underscore 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 underscore. Is Zion worth the risk? Even as Williamson's career has been marred by injuries, a lot of analysts and former players have questioned his off-the-court routines and work ethic. On the November 27 episode of his Nightcap podcast, NFL legend Shannon Sharpe said he had heard within NBA circles that Williamson lacked the discipline to thrive in the league. Everybody wants Zion to have discipline except Zion, Sharpe said. So how can I want something? How can the team want something more for him than he wants it for himself? That's why they put it in his contract. Look how they got it in his contract, that he has to weigh clauses, because they know him. It's not the team's fault, that's got nothing to do with New Orleans, that's Zion and his no discipline, expletive. That's all that comes down to. To Sharpe's point, there are severe restrictions in the 5-year, $197 million contract Williamson signed in 2022. For one, his 2024-25 salary is partially guaranteed, and the next 3 seasons, 2025-26, 2026-27 and 2027-28, are all non-guaranteed. Will Warriors trade Pods? Mark's proposed Warriors trade would mean the departure of Podziemski, a player previously considered a core piece of the franchise. As is well documented, the Warriors hesitated to part with Podziemski in deals involving Lauri Markkanen and Paul George over the summer. However, Pod's game regressed severely in the 2024-25 season, with his points, 9.2 to 7.7, rebounds, 5.8 to 4.6, and assists, 3.7 to 3.4, all seeing dips from his rookie campaign. As such, the Warriors potentially no longer view him as an untouchable asset in trade talks. Podziemski's future in a Warriors uniform only grew murkier after the franchise acquired Dennis Schroeder from the Nets on December 15, the very first day more than half the league became trade eligible. However, Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. believes the addition of Schroeder stands to benefit Pods. Brandon was really good last year, and I think part of it was having Steph and Chris Paul, 2 other handlers, alongside him. And so I think this move enables Brandon and Steph to always be on the court with another handler. Whether it's the two of them or Dennis and Brandon or Dennis and Steph, Dunleavy told reporters on December 16 via NBC Sports Bay Area. Warriors urged to trade struggling young star ahead of deadline. The Golden State Warriors are being swarmed to trade away one of their brightest young talents this season. Podziemski's raw stats are not much worse than last season when he finished number 5 in the Rookie of the Year voting. However, his efficiency is way down. The 21-year-old is converting only 38% of his field goal attempts and 24.7% of his three-point opportunities. Noticeably struggling to connect from downtown and get to his spots, fans of the franchise see it fit for Golden State to look for what they can get in return for Podziemski in the trade market. Warriors could stay active in the trade market before the deadline. Golden State kicked off trade season by sending DeAnthony Melton and 3 future second-round picks to the Brooklyn Nets in exchange for dynamic point guard Dennis Schroeder and a second-rounder. Following that upgrade, the Warriors could floor the gas by offering the Santa Clara product to sellers in the open market for help at center or for a volume scorer that can boost their bench. Podziemski has a great feel for the game, a natural rhythm, and the potential to be a notable player in the NBA. Nevertheless, the Warriors' window to win one or more championships in the Stephen Curry and Draymond Green era is closing, with the 36- and 34-year-olds nearing the twilights of their careers. Thus, it is to be expected that management will continue to be aggressive in fine-tuning their roster for a finals run next spring. Golden State Warriors traded used cars and are primed to make more moves, says Kendrick Perkins. The championship window is closing in the Bay Area, and they're trying to squeeze out every bit of juice from it. The NBA provides opportunities for championship windows. The Golden State Warriors championship window has been open for a decade now, and they've captured 4 titles in that time frame. They are looking for one more, too. With Stephen Curry and Draymond Green aging, there is only so much more they can give to the club in terms of competing for a title. Those two are still with the franchise, even if Klay Thompson is a member of the Dallas Mavericks after winning 4 titles in the Bay Area, meaning the team is still competing for championships. Recently, the Warriors traded for veteran point guard Dennis Schroeder in an attempt to bring in more offense and another spark on the season. Warriors gave up nothing to make a massive improvement. Golden State has Curry, a first-ballot Hall of Fame guard when he retires, and they need to support him with enough talent possible to allow him to maximize his game and the team. They added Schroeder in a trade that massively favors the Warriors. In 2022, the Warriors captured a title after 2 down seasons because they made timely moves and got production from veteran players who weren't able to replicate that success beyond that. According to former NBA veteran and champion Kendrick Perkins, the Warriors got back a Range Rover in this particular trade during an appearance on Road Trippin'. Golden State traded used cars and got back a Range Rover, Perkins said. They gave up nothing. Nothing. I'm not trying to knock DeAnthony Melton, his contract expires after this year. You trade 1 second-round pick to get 19 points a night and 7 assists. Schroeder will prove to be a huge veteran addition to a Warriors team that has thrived with depth and production from role players this season, as their mantra of strength in numbers has never been more true. Warriors aren't done making moves, according to Perkins. The trades aren't done in the Bay Area, either. The Warriors' eagerness to pair Curry alongside a star player isn't a secret. They tried to acquire LeBron James via trade a season ago at the deadline. They tried to sign and trade for Paul George this offseason, while also trying to deal for Lauri Markkanen. While Golden State might have struck out to this point, they aren't going to stop trying. They are persistent in their efforts to make high-quality, high-value trades to maximize their current roster built around their veteran star players. And you still got room to go out there and do more if you are Golden State, Perkins continued. Because you ain't even give up all your assets. You still got Jonathan Kuminga, you still got Podziemski, you still got all these young guys. They got so many assets still to go out there and make another move or 2 more moves. the more the merrier for the Warriors. They can make countless moves with their current situation, and that might be in their best interest. As they previously learned, there is no point in having a dual timeline as it pertains to young talent alongside Curry and Green. Instead, they need win-now teammates capable of playing in Steve Kerr's system.